just start the recording whenever. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Yes.
Whenever they come in, we'll wait for a couple of people to show up before we make our announcement.
Well, it's not there. It's just now going live.
Something to lean on? Oh, you put it on the
we're
TV
20
already?
minutes earlier, so I imagine people won't be on. So
that's okay.
Which is all right.
And there's what he said to me is he's also going to pump it out with their marketing team a little bit as well.
Well, make sure that because I noticed on the
I'll adjust the other thing I need to do is adjust the event date.
Well, adjust the event date, and then also on the title of that chat, make sure they know it's a community podcast, not Flight Test Podcast.
Yeah.
Because I want those guys to know that it is, why is my
T?
Let me go down.
And we will do 3, 10. Oops.
Three watching, so you, me, and then I don't know who else. And let me add. Oh, now it's 2.
Pat
so it's just you and I.
Hey!
Yeah, we are early. So.
It's just the 2 of us.
Oh no!
We tried.
Now this is recorded on YouTube, right?
It is. It is. I have no shame. I have a beautiful singing voice. I used to be in
there's Jim.
Theater.
Hi, Jim.
What it do, Jim?
Oh, why is my pen
get Pat in that group as well?
Right.
Okay. Perfect. The Tubes, my channel. Oh, I just had to also fix all my YouTube channels because apparently I had 3 different YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So now I just have the one again. It's beautiful. All right. Now I can get back in here, make sure that's muted, which it is. Brilliant. Well, if you guys haven't figured it out already, we are just going to be doing a very brief little hangout here to let you guys know that we had a little bit of a scheduling snafu. It was we had the date marked incorrectly on the calendar, and ReadyMade is actually going to be on with us next Sunday.
Yep. So
we're just here to let everybody know that we love you guys for your support and your continued support. However, ReadyMade RC will be back next weekend with us, and so that's going to be next Sunday, the 10th.
10th, yes.
Yes.
I'm on vacation that week, the 10th.
Ooh, where are you going?
Nowhere. We're just
on vacation.
Yeah,
hang out, enjoy, get raking in that time. Doing some RC related stuff if you can.
Probably. Well, I hope to build a little something here and there, but I won't be flying. It's supposed to get cold.
Yeah. I was going to ask you how the weather has been.
It's been nice the last couple of days, other than the wind blowing. So I still haven't got a chance to fly that Radian yet, and I'm not real happy about it.
Well, did you hear what I did at Flight Fest to my Radian?
What you did at Flight Fest?
Yes.
No.
Flight Fest South, that is.
No.
My Radian lost its nose.
Oh, you crashed it.
I bumped it. No, I didn't crash it. It just had a slightly harder than normal landing on a tarmac runway.
That's called a crash. Sorry.
No, it landed on the runway. I had Nick Simpson there to vouch for that landing.
No,
it was a landing. It was a landing.
If you broke the plane,
the foam is old.
Especially if you broke the nose off of it, it's not a landing.
It was a clean break. I tell you what, it was a very clean break. All I need is Gorilla Glue and a couple of what do they call them? Toothpicks, and I'll be all right. All right. Hey, there we go. Hey, buddy, how you doing? That's
Jim
funny.
said he was a
Charles.
3D printing fool, but turns out even though the filament goes out really, really slowly, eventually it will run out.
Oh,
Yeah, it tends to
oh, that's
happen.
funny. Oh, you had the same issue with the Calypso? Yeah, yeah. See, I'm not alone. It's very true. By the way, Daytona FPV is Charles. He's Charles. Correct me. It's Daytona that you live, or New Smyrna Beach. I never remember. Longest flight time right now, I've got 20 minutes on mine, and that's FPV.
I've had an hour thermaling
Daytona.
with
So
with a 1300.
and oh, there you go. There you go. So yeah, I had a 2200 in the nose, and that still apparently wasn't enough nose weight. But then again, I was flying it a little tail heavy in the wind, so it was porpoising a lot that 20 minutes. But it wasn't. You see, here's my gripe about the Radiant: is it is overwhelmingly underpowered.
I've not had any issue with mine. No.
I want to put a bigger ESC in it and just see what it will do. That's funny. Hour on a 1300, says Jim RC.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. No, I got it. Yeah, I got an hour on a 1300. No problem. You get into these Kansas boomers we got around here, it'll just go. It'll disappear.
That's the thing is, see, I can get into a thermal probably pretty easy here in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should.
It's just I haven't been able to get the nose weight quite right. I need to jam the battery like way the hell up in the front of the nose and give it another try.
Yeah. I get where I'm almost touching the motor itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am probably maybe 5 centimeters away from the motor with that 1300.
Yeah.
And no problem.
And see, that's what I'm thinking. Is it probably is an issue that I'm just not placing the battery in a decent spot, and that's what the issue is.
Maybe, I don't know, because
I don't know. But yeah, all right. I think even though I think we're a little early, I think 7 people is plenty time enough to do this little commercial. So for those 7 of you guys who are joining us this evening, as you probably gathered, due to a slight scheduling conflict, ReadyMade, they were unable to join us last minute this evening. However, they have rescheduled for next Sunday at 8 o'clock. So rejoin us next Sunday at 8 for ReadyMade RC. Meanwhile, tonight, we're just going to do a quick little catch up, hang out. Me and Mikey are just going to do a little bit of bench flying real quick, and then we'll let you guys get out of here a little early so that we can have a nice evening and relax. And I've got a pile of editing to do, and I'll go through that here in a little bit. So Mike, what have you been up to?
Well, other than I finally got the Radian XL bound and everything, and got everything ready to go on that. I was hoping to fly it, but didn't get a chance to this weekend.
Okay.
I'm waiting on my swag box from Quad Box.
I saw those starting to come out.
Yeah, it was supposed to deliver yesterday, and it got hung up somewhere on its way here and didn't show up. So, trying to think, there's something else other than I flew my Gremlin for about 5 minutes today. Earlier.
Oh, okay. Were you doing outdoor flying or indoor flying?
Yeah, outdoor flying, just really quickly, like in between the wind gusts.
Yeah, so you guys have been having some pretty strong winds as of late, right?
Lots. Yeah. I mean, it's been averaging 15 to 25. I mean, all the time, you know. But you have to remember, I'm out here from the mountains of Colorado. There's nothing
exactly
between there and here.
Yeah, no, that's very true. So you get those like booming gusts and that's regular for this time of year for you as well.
Yeah, it is. Because, anytime it warms up anyway, because the only time we get any warmer weather is when the wind's blowing out of the south at 20 to 25 to bring that stuff up from like Texas or whatever.
Yeah. So. And thus far, you guys have had a pretty mild winter as well. So
yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. Right now, it's 64 degrees.
It's crazy. That's like it's not beautiful. Even 10. There's 8 degrees difference between you and me right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's insane.
You
Yeah,
know, of
we
course
were.
now it's dark. So
Well, yeah,
for 2.5
same here.
hours.
Yeah, we've got. Show you guys. There you go. There's the dark Florida right there.
Yeah. So
out of that window. So yeah,
but yeah, we've no, not got a lot going on. Oh, I did order some things from Rotor Riot store though.
okay. And
I sure
what have you got
did.
on order?
The new Oh My God frame.
Ooh.
Yeah, I decided to go ahead
Okay.
and drop a little coin
So
on
how
that.
what electronic? And this is just me being curious. What electronics are you going to throw on it?
Well, I know I'm putting the hype train version 1.1 motors on it. And I don't know, I've
Okay.
got that race flight. I got that race flight version 3.
I was going to ask
The
you,
Revolt.
are you going to use the Revolt?
I may. But I'm a little concerned about it because I think that's only got a 5-volt board.
It does. So yeah, that's the hang up.
That's a
is
problem
that you got to
for
have
me.
you got to have a 5-volt regulator going into it. So you got to drop a PDB in there.
Mm-hmm. So that, and then I'm going to have to make sure that I get 3.3 coming out so I can
So with that, what ESCs are you planning?
probably 32 amp BL Helis, probably some.
Here's another option. SpeedX 35 amp all-in-one has a 5-volt out.
Oh, really?
And plugs straight into your flight controller, so it will work as a PDB and ESC in one.
Well, send me a link.
Yes. There's a couple of vendors who I would recommend, either Puraflip or Race Day Quads, based here in Orlando.
I'm gonna try the two vendors. I think I'm gonna try a race flight and check it out.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, I'm thinking I could probably flash that board over to Betaflight, can I?
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. In fact, one thing I was very highly considering is actually dropping some coin on a Martian frame and getting all the electronics off of the R5LX, dropping that onto the Martian and switching the KISS flight controller off of that one and putting it onto the Revolt and trying the race flight Revolt on the Martian.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm going to use the Revolt, race flight, because I mean it is version 3.
Yeah, it's the latest. Yeah.
Yeah. So I might even put that on the Win 5 frame.
Okay.
I don't know.
What do you got on the Win 5 right now?
I don't have anything on it right now.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so here's.
So I have to get another. I got to get another. And I want to do a stack. I'd rather do a stack with a, ES, all-in-one ESCs and everything, and just do all that. But
have you thought about doing the Maytech stack, the Maytech F4 or 5?
After I messed with the Maytech on my floss, no, I'm done with Maytech.
Okay, I was just wondering because I remember you having issues with Maytechs.
Yep.
But I've heard nothing but good things about their all-in-one boards.
Yeah.
So I was just very curious to see. No, I can understand it. I can understand it.
I worked my butt off trying to get that thing going, and I still haven't got it flying yet, which upsets me. So, but I figure after I do this, find out which board I like the best, then I'll have a racer. Kind of a racer, but more of a
freestyle.
I'm going to do a freestyle there. And then, of course, the Oh My God frame is going to be strictly freestyle. And I'm telling you, I love the looks of the frame. Because I watched when he was doing his, when Tommy was doing all his testing with it.
Sure.
And I watched him fly into a cinder block wall, picked it up and took off other than a prop. And I was like, that's what I need.
There's another couple of things that I really like about that frame. One, the balance of it, having that low main, that low main pod. And sorry, if you guys can see the little white fluffy thing, that's Bruno. I love the balance of that frame, having the underslung main part of the frame underneath, and then the battery sitting on top of it. It provides a lot of stability in that frame, and I think the center of mass is so concentrated in one small area, like what Pat was saying the other day, that it makes the motors work less to do more intense maneuvers.
Yep. Yeah, I think the roll and the yaw is going to be stupid on that thing.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Put the rates up to 1200, and you'll be like spinning for days.
Yeah. Crazy.
I just put. I'll talk about what I was doing yesterday with the tuning stuff, but I just put 1400 on the roll rate of my frame, and it literally you peg the stick to the end and you spin like 1,000 times, and it's it's a little disorientating, but it's really fun to do.
Kind of a lane star thing. What's the roll rate?
All of them. All of them. Yeah. No, it literally is like the world flashes around you and you can't see anything. No, I think that's a really good idea. Honestly, I've been contemplating the idea of building out a frame that is exclusively used for testing electronic equipment, because I don't want to risk my main rig testing things. I would rather have a second frame where I can test the equipment first, see if I like it, and then if I like it, then I can put it into something else.
Yeah. See, that's kind of what I'm thinking about my Win 5.
Yeah.
I do that with that one, and then if I like how it flies and everything, then I can copy that over into the Tommy's frame.
I have a question for you. On the Win 5, where is the camera mount? Is it the two little carbon fiber pieces, or is there a 3D printed?
Well, for the FPV camera mount?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the two. Let me see if I can get it up there. They're right there. Yeah. I don't know if you can see them or not. But yeah, those are, and they go right in the front, and they've got holes on each side, so you can adjust the. I like the frame.
Yeah,
it actually went together really easy, really quick, simple. I like all the chamfered edges on it. It's a nice little frame.
Who was I talking to? I'm trying to remember who I was talking to about the X hover frame. Gapit. That's who we were talking to. When Gapit was on the show, he had mentioned that the two carbon fiber plates on the R5LX are too tight. So what ends up happening is you crash, and because they're under tension, if you crash in just the right way, it pops up the it puts stress on the standoffs. And so what will end up happening is you'll eventually, because of the tension that it's under and their short screws, it will pop right off out of the standoffs. So what I have been told, and because we have the little mini Swifts, the FPV mini Swifts, I have mine somewhere in this drawer for this one. Here it is.
Hey, Ryan.
So what they have, hello Ryan. We're just doing some bench flying for anyone who's just joining us. Due to the scheduling conflict at ReadyMade, we're just going to have a very quick, fun little. It's not really going to be a podcast. It's just going to be an announcement that we'll post. But ReadyMade will return with us next week. But here you go. So what I found out is on the Mini Swift mic, is because it doesn't have the same. I actually have a full size Swift.
Well, the mount, right? The mount's different.
Yeah. So obviously you can see, and this is demonstrating for those of you who don't have these cameras, so you can't see it. So these two, come on, focus. Thank you. That's the size difference between the mini.
Oh yeah.
Come on, mini, and the full size Swift.
Yeah.
So the carbon plates on the R5LX are designed for this guy.
Right.
But you can get like two very, very small 3D prints that will put this camera on the front. And not only will that remove that issue of the top plate being under tension under the standoffs, this weighs nothing. So if you want to make the the Win 5, your little racing frame, come on, refocus. God damn it.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, no language.
Um, the once you have the 3D prints, you could switch to the lighter camera setup, and then that way for your racing, you have more of a
I probably won't be doing much racing, but
just gives you the option if that's something you're interested in doing.
yeah. Well,
So,
eventually I'm going to because we do have a local chapter multi GP here, so
yeah.
I may. I mean, I belong to the Facebook page right now, but I haven't registered to multi GP yet and all
Sure.
that. But we'll see. I had to get a little better at flying first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you do any flying around Thanksgiving at all, or
Mm-mm. No,
no,
too
just
windy.
being kind of getting out whenever you can. Yeah.
It's just too windy, man. It's too windy here. Oh, and I did buy the new special edition Run Cam Swift from Red Ride too,
Oh, very nice.
because they are supposed to have some of the fastest transition from dark to light and light to dark.
I saw that. So,
Their settings. So
what? And it's just a standard. Oh, what do they call it?
it's a Swift.
What's the sensor in here? It's
I
not
can't remember.
CMOS. It's the other CCD.
Yeah.
So these are CCD sensors. So is it a CCD or is it a CMOS?
Hang on,
Because I'm curious.
look, I can't remember. Asking me all these hard
I
questions.
am asking you all the hard questions, because that's.
No, I don't want to do
I'm
that.
going to be the one to ask you those type of questions.
Come on. Stupid thing. All right, I'm just going to have to go out to the site.
There it is. So that right there is the CCD sensor inside of the Swift.
Right. Let's look. Because I don't remember.
Flux capacitor.
Ryan,
yeah,
flux capacitor.
for those who are not FPV savvy, that's exactly what it is.
That's right.
It's wizardry.
FPV cameras.
Oh, it's a 2.1 mil lens. Did you know it was a 2.1 mil lens on the Mini Swift?
On the Mini Swift, yeah.
It has a really wide angle lens for such a little camera.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a 1/3 Sony Super HAD 2 CCD.
It is a CCD.
Yeah, it is a CCD.
But they've just tweaked the settings inside the camera so that it's more...
I guess Red Ride's the only one that gets them though.
That's really fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Because I watched the reviews on it, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. The exposure, how quick it handled the differences in exposure.
Yeah,
really.
The light handling is especially important if you're going through like trees or anything like that, or quick transitions where it's going from light to dark spaces very quickly. The regular CCD cameras can't really handle that light change very quickly.
Yeah, I know.
It takes them a good second or two to finally click through to the right setting. And so, if you're coming out of a shadow and you're jumping into a very light area, it almost wipes out the camera for a hot second before it finally turns the sky blue again and you can see exactly where you're going.
Yeah, and this one's got a built-in microphone too.
Ooh. So, and that's the thing, is like, is the microphone a feature that you would use, or?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try it. Because I'm used to flying airplanes, and even though they may be a little ways away, I can hear them.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at
them. So you can respond to what.
Yeah. And to me, I think having that audio feedback as well just gives me a little more connection to it and will help me flying in tighter areas, because I'll know kind of what's going on a little more. Because and just watching the camera, you don't always know, are you giving it full? Do you think you're giving it full? Because I need to adjust the rates on my on my throttle response a little bit. I think I'm going to raise everything up to where I get a little higher rate, so I don't have to move as far. And
and that's the thing, is and there's a set, by the way, there's a setting again, depending on whether you're in Betaflight or something else. Betaflight has what is essentially a exponential curve adjustment for throttle
Right.
So that if you do want to add a exponential curve into your throttle, you can. I don't know of any pilots who do it frequently, I would say. But I know that setting is in there.
Right. Well, I think I want mine a shorter stick, quicker response is what I
Makes
want.
sense.
So
Makes sense.
I think, I got to play with it a little bit because, man, those lights are about to drive me buggy, dude.
Which behind me?
Yeah, them blinking ones.
Yeah. Yeah, as you can tell, we decorated for Christmas over the between us and Thanksgiving. So we've never had like string light decorations before.
Right.
We donated our old Christmas tree, so we have a little Hanukkah bush that's sitting up there.
Sure.
So yeah, we did something a little goofy and fun, but oh, well, at least you're pushing really hard on the quad stuff as of late, huh?
A little bit, yeah. I'm starting to really like it a lot.
Well, I'm not surprised.
So I don't know. I think it's just the whole feeling of being like in the cockpit.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
More.
100%. Oh yeah, yeah. No, without a doubt, that sensation and that feeling of sorry, I'm just adjusting my webcam here. That feeling of right.
FPV in now.
Yeah, right, exactly. That feeling of being behind the goggles and being so immersed in the whole experience. I definitely think that sorry, the fact that it's not focusing is driving me crazy. The fact that you know what is probably not helping is the reflection of the screen in my eyes. Anyway, so no, I completely agree with you. I think that being under the hood and being FPV is far more immersive a flying experience, and because we're so passionate about flying, it's not necessarily about the thing that's flying; it's about the flying experience.
Right.
And a quad just gives you, and I agree with you. It's that locked in connection between you and the machine, and you just every input that you make, the quad does exactly what it's told to do, without questioning it, without fighting you back. In a wing, you're fighting lift. In a plane, you're fighting lift. In a helicopter, you're fighting everything because it's
exactly.
But you know where
you're fighting the laws of physics.
You're fighting the world at that point. So the fact that it's such a direct experience between you and the quad, I mean, I think that's part of the reason that I'm so in love with flying the quads. Far more so than that I even thought that I would. It's funny. We sit here and we talk about the quadcopter stuff, and I think looking back from our earlier episodes when we were doing this, and by hearing you saying, I'm not really into the quads, I'm into the planes, and then Pat was the same way, and I'm like, I don't know, I do love the plane thing, but I also want to experiment with the quads. And like, the more I experimented with the quads, you started experimenting with them. And then Pat finally got one and experimented with it as well. And I think it's funny how a lot of fixed wing pilots now are giving FPV a try. I mean, another really good example is Chloe by the way, guys, shout out. If you guys haven't listened to the RC After Hours podcast from last week,
absolutely,
I'm halfway through listening to it. Chloe is such a character. I love listening to that show with her on now. Chris, really good recruitment job. But I really enjoy listening to her describe her first experience of flying FPV and what her dream is. The way she described it is flying over houses. Like, it's a childhood dream of like flying over things. I think we all, as a child, had those like dreams and those visions of like flying over and above everything and seeing the world from that really unique perspective. And flying FPV gives you that.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Because kinda, because mine was more, I mean, I remember dreaming as a child and even as a young adult, of not just flying over stuff, but it was like watching the barn swallows.
Yeah.
Oh, really low to the ground and doing all that, and then flying. Like at my club right now, we have barn swallows that nest up there every year,
Oh,
and
it's so cool.
and they will fly. Of course, we just have a what do you call it? A shelter house, kind of. Like you'd find anywhere, just like a few posts and a roof, and then of course we got picnic tables underneath it, and they fly underneath the thing and through the thing. And I remember being a kid dreaming I was flying like that.
Yeah.
And now I have the opportunity to do it, and it's so much fun to actually live out a dream that, I mean, and a true sleeping dream that you had when you were a child.
Yeah.
To me, that's just cool as anything.
And especially now the technology has gotten so good. Like, I don't know. I feel obviously you fly with head plays, so like you're as immersed as you can possibly get.
Oh my gosh!
I'm on the Fat Shark Dominator SEs, which are the biggest screen that you can get in a Fat Shark. And again, it's the same feeling. It's like, oh my god, the whole screen in front of me. I am pretty much seeing the world from the eyes of what this quad is seeing. And now I've got the HD camera on board, and not only now do I get to enjoy and experience the quad flying while I'm doing it, but now I get the enjoyment and pleasure out of taking all of that beautiful HD footage that I have and now producing videos for it as well. I'm almost having the ability to relive the experience is almost as exciting as the experience itself. With the exception of the flying I did the day before Thanksgiving, I was not very happy with that footage at all. And the reason, it's funny that I have not released that video because I'm just that displeased with the way that I was flying.
Well, if you're not happy with it, you shouldn't put it out.
Well, here's the thing, and it brings up a really good point, is if you're not happy with something that you did, should you still post it? And I think I'm still going to post it because I want to hear what people's opinions of that flying are. I would rather hear the feedback of other pilots and say, hey, by the way, when you're transitioning from here to here, here's what to do to help you through that maneuver to get a smoother line.
Okay. Well, I can see that. I can see it for that reason, yes.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it strictly for the enjoyment of other people watching it and all that, then absolutely not. I mean, I've got a lot of video of me flying right here in my backyard. I'm not putting it all out there because it's like, it's the same old thing, I mean, I mean, if I do something really cool, then maybe, but, and the worst part is I actually, when I flew my Gremlin today, I didn't record the first battery, and that's the one I should have recorded. Yeah, because I actually dove the house, and it was pretty awesome. And I was sitting there, and after I dove the house and I was flying around, I went, I didn't turn the DVR on. Dang it! So, of course, after the battery was dead, I went, put a new battery in it, pick it back up, made sure I, recorded the DVR, hit the record on the DVR, and when I went up to the house, because I was going to do it again, the wind was blowing so hard it started shoving me backward, and I was like, nah.
Oh, no. That's not going to work.
So I was like, dang
it. Oh, that's really cool, though. Yeah, that's the advantage of the Gremlin. See, I'm looking forward to getting that thing with this little guy sorted out. I just got to get a new VTX.
Oh, yeah.
And sorry, TJ. I'm not a big lover of the TJ frame now after having it for a little while.
I love it.
I just think I almost think it's too small.
Actually, the new Andres Lou frame is the one you want.
Well, so here's what I'm gonna do: is I'm actually thinking, because I have friends in town with a CNC cutter and some spare carbon fiber, and I know for a fact that they'll help me out. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to 3D print I'm going to 3D print a frame that I have designed, or I'm in the process of designing, which accommodates the slightly improved camera than the all-in-one. Because I kind of want the ability to have a better antenna that's on there right now. And the beautiful thing is that all of these MMCX connectors that are coming out on the VTXs are only going to get smaller. TBS is dropping prices on VTXs like nobody's business. So I'm led to believe that VTXs are going to get really small really soon. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen before finalizing that design. But it's pretty much the same premise. Like, it's a stretched X, but it has a slightly longer fuselage that accommodates the battery being placed above instead of below the Gremlin. Because again, I'm this firm believer that battery placement being as close to the prop line as possible is the way to go. And then also, if you hadn't caught it, Mike, Emax just released the Avon 2-inch props.
Yes.
So that's kind of why I'm waiting a little bit, because I honestly want my Gremlin to be able to accommodate the slightly better props and the slightly more powerful 3S packs with the squished. I like the idea of the squished frames. I think they're really, really cool. And if there's a way of kind of incorporating those in a new Gremlin frame that I'm working on, I think that's the way to do it. So I think kind of adjust a couple of things here on the Gremlin, and then that's what I'll start flying and tuning, because I'm happy with the tune that's on it. But yeah, I just got to fix the video issue that I had after doinking it on the playground almost 6 months ago now. It just hasn't flown quite the same since. So yeah, I need to.
Well, I've got the carbon TJ frame, and I love it. I mean, other than here because of the wind, I'm telling you, when it's not windy, I guarantee you this thing will keep up with just about anything. I mean, short distance, just about anything.
Yeah.
And I'm only flying 2 S450s, and I'm telling you, you go back and look at some of the videos, that thing moves.
Wouldn't have known. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you would have thought it was a lot bigger quad than it is. Other than the fact the motors on the
back. and that's it. Honestly, that's the thing, is like you can do a lot with it on 2S, but I'm a glutton for power. I love running 4S packs through my quads right now.
Well, I think it'll be a little much for a 4.
No, I wouldn't run a 4 through a Gremlin. I would definitely run a 3. Now, maybe on the new Emax Red Bottom mini series with 12 amp ESCs instead of the 6s, maybe I would run a 4S.
I would run
Gremlin, but
3S. And that'll give you. And I actually want to pick up some of those avian props, those little 2-inch avian props, and put them on there, because I think it'll fly a lot better.
Well, and that again, I'm probably complaining and preaching to the choir a little bit, but I'm not a big lover of those 2-inch props that come stock with that kit. I think they're 2 amp hungry. I don't think they're properly balanced out of the factory. I think that they're not clean props, and for the kind of flying that we're doing, there are better options out there, and I've seen better options. So I'm surprised that that's the prop that comes with those.
Well, again, I think it's because that's what comes on the Baby Hawk?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's what it is, and that's what they were designed for. So they was like, we'll just throw them out there. And I mean, they're okay. I mean, I enjoy flying it. I mean, to me, it's as fun as anything.
Yeah.
But I think if, now I would absolutely like to have some. I'd like to have some two blade props.
Mm-hmm.
Good two blade.
And see, this is I'm hung up on that because yes, granted, you would be saving amps on going from 3 blades to 2 blades, but in order to get the same lift that you do out of a 3-inch, you'll think about the amount of area or lifting surface area that you're losing by dropping a blade.
Yeah,
and
I know.
How you're going to make that back up.
If you look at how fat those blades are and how blunt they are and everything, I think you're losing a lot anyway because you're all in prop wash all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's half the issue of it. Yeah.
Well, but I think if you went to a two blade that was a little thinner, just a little bit, with maybe a little more pitch on them, I don't know, but I think it'd be better.
Yeah,
I do.
And Jim, you are right. I think you would see a little bit longer flight times. I don't think that you would see a drastic change, but you would certainly see a change. I don't know. You might see a little bit more responsiveness out of the motors because it's not pushing as much mass. Again, I think I'm sorry, Emacs. I'm not a big lover of those blunt nose props. Ever since dropping the blunt nose props off of my 5-inch rigs when I was running the HMB 235, that so many eons ago. I had on my 4-inch rig when I was getting ready to organize that. And now David Scottsdale actually has that rig. That originally had 4-inch blunt nose dowel props. I don't know. I think I would rather.
I don't like them.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's the thing. Is like I'm not a lover of the way that blunt nose handle anyway. So I think that's probably where my bias is coming from. But I have flown like the racecraft props versus the HQ 5x4.3x3s, and I like those props so much. I have 5 sets of these.
Yeah,
like that's how much I like these props. So, I think flying an Avon style or a racecraft style prop, like a crane prop, as they're being the colloquialism that's being used to describe them. I think you're getting better. You're getting better wing tip airflow because of the curved down edge of the wing tip.
Well, like these gem fans.
Yeah, exactly. You're not getting the way like on the HQ props, how you've got the other way around. You've got the little bit of the thin at the front, and then this area right here, almost as it clears the most of that little bump right there.
Yeah.
It gives that the most of the ability to spool up and build its head speed in order to get the best efficiency out of that prop. So you're getting the efficiency side of it, but you're also getting the power to weight that you need out of the. And granted, you're talking about a scale difference between the full size quad and a 2-inch quad, which is just ridiculous as it is.
Yeah.
But in terms of thrust numbers, I still think that going to a crane style prop is going to be better for you than going to a 2-blade prop. Just because of the way that it's designed and the type of flying that you're doing. But that's
I'd like to test both. It'd be fun. It'd be fun to test both.
It would be, and I'd be curious to see the results. So if you do it, I'd definitely be curious to see them.
Yeah.
But no, I've been having a ton of fun. As I mentioned, Thanksgiving, I had I flew. I was glad that I went out because I flew with some really fun people. But just I wasn't happy with the way I was flying at all. I think part of it was circumstantial. We were fighting last light. It was like last light of the afternoon, so you're like trying to zip through packs as fast as you can in order to get out. Have you flown anything with naked bottom motors on it?
No, not yet.
I'll tell you, my biggest hang up with these open bottom motor designs is, and this is just again stuff that I've been pulling out of my motors for the last 20 minutes is all Spanish moss and grasses and weeds. They all, I mean,
What motors
motors
are
get
those?
tangled. These are the Hyperlites,
Oh, okay.
the Hyperlite V2s.
Yeah.
Sorry, here, I'll get that angle better. There you go. So this is the Hyperlite V2. It's a 2205 with the curved magnets, and I love these props. I love these motors. I really do. They've got great power.
Were they 2500, 2400?
2205s, 20. I want to say it's 2300.
2300.
Yeah, 2300.
Yeah, because on my floss I got the 2204, 2722s.
Yeah,
but I
which
just
is
have a Flite.
perfect for that. Yeah, I honestly, that motor setup for what you've got there on the floss is perfect.
Yeah.
That's much more zippy. So I think you're good there. But with that being said, I wasn't happy with the circumstances of the way I flew, and frankly, I wasn't happy with the tune.
Mm.
And this is something that everyone should be mindful of as the air temperature goes down, the air gets more dense, and so the tune that everyone has during the summer needs to be adjusted to match the cooler air temperatures that we're going to start to see in the winter. I like to tighten up my tune during the winter months. So I actually yesterday went out on a tuning session down to Johns Lake Park, which is where Tim and I did a lot of our videos when he was down here in Florida.
Is that where he lost his quad, his Sybil?
Yeah, I have a funny story to share on that too. Yeah, that was the place where he put two quads in a tree and recovered both the boys. But yeah, I have a significant amount of editing to do, which is probably what I'll do when we wrap up here. Is jump right into starting the edit for that. I'm going to be doing a walkthrough on tuning a quad from pretty much base of Betaflight 3.2.
I did see that you were talking about doing that, and interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the way that I tune, and this is just kind of throwing it out there, the way I tune my quads out is I start with stock PIDs, fly it once, see how it is, what's wrong with it, if there's anything crazy out of whack. And I tell you what, the first battery that I run through this thing, I'm planning on posting the video, the first flight video.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious. The flying looks worse in the fully tuned quad than it does in the non-tuned quad. And the reason is because by the time I got to the end, I was playing in a brand new right bank, and a right bank that I want to kind of live in and get used to, because as I was explaining, I've now played with the Super 8 and RC rate to get it exactly where I want it, and throwing in some expo in that as well. So I'm running like 1400 degrees per second on roll right now. So I wasn't used to that. Whereas when I was on the very, very stock at the very beginning, it was 700 degrees per second.
Yeah, so you doubled it.
So I doubled it. And of course I added, hey, Luis, I doubled the roll rate and pretty much increased my pitch rate by almost 2/3 of what it was to start with. And I locked all the way in and just pumped it up just a little bit, because you don't need to play with I'll go into that.
Not much.
Video.
Yeah.
But you don't want to adjust your rate that much. PIDs is a different thing. But I explained at the beginning of the video that even though the video looks really solid, there is still work to be done in the tune. Now, the way I do it stock is I actually start in biquad filtering, and I do a stock PID, see where it is, and then I start working on the PID itself, to the PID across pitch, roll, yaw. Once I'm happy with that, I turn all the filters back on and test it with the filtering. if anything needs to be adjusted post filtering, adjust that real quick, because you don't even need a full Flite to see the issues that you'd be seeing there. So that would be all three of the filters offsets, notch 1, notch 2, D term notch, all switched off. Then you play in anti-gravity gain, which is something to do with the eye gain, which you start working on the eye, you get the eye gain to a point where you can't do any more to it before it starts doing bad things. Then you start doing anti-gravity, D-term set point, D-term, what do they call it? D-term weight, D-term set point. Fix those, and once you're happy with all of that, once the tune of the quad is flying exactly how you want it, then you go ahead and put your rates in. Because once the quad is flying the way it should be flying, the way it's as close to a perfect tune as you can, I'd say I'm about 95% of the way there. Once you get to that point, then to go ahead and put your rate bank in, because at that point the PID tune itself is locked. You're done. You don't need to play with it. Now, just a case of getting your rate bank to respond to the controller the way that you intend for it to work. That was my workings and goings on yesterday. So I'll probably have like almost an hour-long video coming out this week with all the PID stuff that I was working on yesterday. But I was really happy with it, and how I was laughing at the fact that you brought up the fact that Tim put his quad in a tree.
Well, he puts the first symbol in, and then he ended up putting another quad in that same tree.
You remember why he put the symbol in the tree the first time, right?
The first one?
Yeah, he was chasing me.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was your fault.
So he was chasing me and it's funny because I dove that same gap on the fresh tune, on the new tune. And so I'm going into this gap and I was like, oh my God, if I put it in here, I'm going to laugh so hard.
Yeah.
So I texted Tim. I was like, I almost pulled the U yesterday, but no, it wasn't there that I hit Spanish moss. I was coming around the corner. You'll see it in the video. It's hilarious. I come around the corner to pitch up and I think I'm lower than I actually am. And a phantom ghost piece of Spanish moss comes down and grabs my motors as I'm throttling away from it. So I'm like, crap. And as I see it, of course, it's grabbed this and this motor. So what's it start doing? It starts yawing like crazy. And so I was like, I don't want to deal with this.
Fear the scraggle.
Disarmed. Yeah, really fear the scraggle. Disarmed completely. Luckily, I had a lot of forward momentum. So as soon as I disarmed, it just kept going. So it cleared the tree, cleared the Spanish moss, and then ended up tumbling on the other side. It was a little bit of a, oh crap, I almost did that moment. And then as soon as I saw it on the ground, I was like, oh, that could have been so
bad.
Much worse. Yep. But at least you'll get a sense of like the tune versus where it was, if that makes sense. So there are definitely things that I'm going to be pointing out in the video. I'm going to be having like the PID rates in the bottom of the screen so people can actually see what it is that is working as the quad goes through its tuning process. So people can kind of see in one video what each thing is doing.
Sure. What was I going to tell you? Week of the, well, it's going to be 3 days, 19th, 20th, and 21st. I'm going to be in Cleveland. So I'm going to have to get a hold of somebody up there and see if I can see anybody. I don't know if I will, but
yeah,
we're going to try.
Let's see. So 19th, 20th, 21st. Okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to Atlanta next week for a couple of days. Just not enough.
Yeah. Well, I was
Marietta, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Marietta is a little ways out of Atlanta.
About an hour or so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an hour south. I've been to Marietta before.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, so guys, so the 10th of if you guys are just joining us, as you can probably tell, it's just Mike and I.
Yeah.
So
No
funny
ReadyMade
story.
RC guys here.
So funny story. Pat actually was supposed to be on vacation today. So as it turns out, he may be able to join us for the next show anyway. So Pat was going to have the night off tonight because in the 2.5 year history of the show, Pat's never taken a break.
Oh. Which is only what, 39 episodes?
40. Well, this one would have been the 40th.
This one, well, this one is 40.
Next week is going to be 40.
No, this is 40.
You want to make this a full episode?
We've already been on here for 55 minutes, dude.
Why not? Why not? Very true. All right, well, we can post it. People can enjoy us bantering back and forth for 50 minutes. Yeah. I'll put it out as a half episode. How about that? Or a bonus episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's do that, and then we can keep ReadyMade RC number.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll work.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'll put this out as a bonus episode. But yeah, guys, join us this upcoming Sunday. There was a small scheduling conflict with us from ReadyMade, so we couldn't unfortunately make tonight work. Maybe Pat will be back with us. If he is,
he should be.
He should be. I'm glad he was able to take tonight off. It would have kind of been funny if he'd managed to sneak his way on. Alrighty. You got any flying plans this week, Mike?
No, because like I said, I'm going to Marietta Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so I won't be in town. You know, when I get off work, it's already so dark that you just can't do anything. Although I ought to start taking my Gremlin to work and flying it around the office because we don't have hardly anybody there. So
that's the way to do it. And what time does the sun go down in Kansas right now?
Well, it's getting on about 5 o'clock now, which is the time I get off work. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Time I get home at 5:30, it's dark.
It's getting that way here, which is scary. I was out of work at 5:15, and the sun peaked down under the horizon.
Yeah.
Like, why? I'm sorry for those of you who have any understanding of daylight savings time. Can we just go back to it?
Yeah, just leave it. Leave it at daylight savings time. I don't need the standard time. Give me daylight savings time.
That's all we're asking for, guys. Like, everyone complains about it. Like, how has this still not happened?
Yeah, this is true, Jim. There is hope.
Yeah, really. Winter solstice. Yeah, that's true. There is hope. I mean, and the beautiful thing is most of the US hasn't even seen snow yet.
I'm glad of that.
I think everybody's happy about that.
Yeah, because that means
we're not going to get snow. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, but it won't get as cold here.
But it's not going to get cold, right? I'm waiting. This time, in fact, I was looking at my phone. This time 4 years ago, we were down to 46. Today.
Wow.
4 years ago. Today, it was 83. Same day.
Yeah. We was 68 today. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah. No, but that's still mild. And you're only down to 64?
Yeah, well, right now it's 64 degrees.
I think we're at 68 right now.
And it's 20 to 8 my time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, right.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's just it. So
we're supposed to get some rain in the morning and then clear off, and then it's going to start getting cold. I think we're supposed to get
cold front coming through then.
Yeah. What did it say?
Yeah, sorry, Luis. Luis is saying it's 37 in New York right now.
Yeah. Oh, Thursday we got a chance of snow.
Oh, there you go.
A 40% chance of snow on Thursday. Well, but I'll be in Georgia.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, it's not due to snow day yet.
Yeah, this will be our first snow of the year. I mean, or this season if we get it. But that's Thursday.
Ooh, it's a supermoon tonight, guys.
Yep.
Yep. Yes, it is. That's funny. So it is looking awfully big, awfully bright.
I have something I want to quickly talk about.
Please.
Hopefully he doesn't get mad at me for doing it. Come on, where you at? Patrick Hines.
Oh yes, please talk about that. Actually, I do have one other thing I was going to mention.
Gathering up all of Michael Crash Hancock's airplanes.
I did see that, yes.
And he is going to be auctioning them off. So to help his Michael's family get through everything that they're going through. And I believe he's going to be putting them on eBay. Now, I'm not exactly sure all the details, but as I get those, I will absolutely be sharing them with you guys. Patrick Hines has done so much and been such a good friend to Michael Crash Hancock, and of course Michael's been some kind of friend to Patrick as well. But he's actually wanting to help his family, and they ask him to come in and help auction these planes off and all that. And I guess they're all going to have, I believe they all have Mike's signature on them. I'm not 100% sure of that or not, but a lot of them apparently do. So once I get a little more information, guys, I will, you know, let you know, and you know, we'll go from there. So
Beautiful.
I think it's awesome that, you know, that Patrick's out there doing that. And if you can go out there and maybe bid on some stuff or maybe purchase some stuff, man, do it, because it's going to, you know, an unbelievably good cause for, you know, Mr. Hancock's family. So
yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. Funnily enough, you mentioned that I did see it, and I absolutely did want to mention that. So thank you.
Yeah, he did.
He jumping on that.
Message me about it, and I mean, he sent me some pictures, and he showed me just in one little closet. I shouldn't say little closet, but there's 70 planes in just the one closet.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm trying to look to see if there's. Oh, each one will come with a certificate of authenticity and a serial number and a vinyl sticker of his signature to put on the plane. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I knew it was something like that, but yeah, planes and kits, everything, and they're going to benefit his wife and daughters. So
perfect.
Yeah, anything you guys can do,
excellent.
I'll get some links, and that way we can pump them out there and all that. So is that who you're talking about, Luis?
Yes, that's mine. Foreman is the account search on eBay to get access to Patrick's information.
Okay, there you go.
Postings.
MEINFOMAN. So everybody that's listening that's not in the chat right now, please go out there, and if you see some of this stuff, you know, let's try to raise that family up a little bit. I mean, those people have given so much to this community. Let's try to give them back a little bit.
Totally agree. Totally agree. One other thing, since we're talking about announcements and well, kind of updates as well, I did want to make an update. Mike, do you follow Tested on Facebook?
A little bit, yes, I do.
Okay, so you probably then caught that Tested shared a community member, some really amazing community members' work, and shared it out through the Tested Facebook page for his custom paint jobs on the Tyrannus QX7 and X9Ds. And this gentleman is a community member in Roto Riot. It's his can't even speak. His name is John Jordan, and the company that he has founded to start doing custom jobs on radios is A&A Specialties. So if you go on to Facebook, want to help support a local member of the community, he's based out of Texas, I believe, just outside of Dallas. So if you guys are interested in a custom paint job on your Tyrannus or QX7, or I don't think he started doing Spectrum radios, but he'll do any custom work, goggles, radios, anything like that. Go and head over to A&A Specialties on Facebook, and John will get you all squared away. The one that he posted and the one that was shared by Test. Oh, excuse me. I have to cut that out. The one that was shared on Tested was one that he did inspired by Wall-E, which was unbelievable. If you guys haven't seen it, go on to the Tested Facebook page. Tested, for those of you who don't know, is the company founded by Adam Savage as a spin-off to the Mythbusters stuff.
Yep. Yeah, he's actually going to be here the 6th.
Yes.
In Kansas City.
Yes, for Brain Candy, right? Brain Candy Live.
Yep. And I'm
pissed.
Shared, I can't
go. You know, I think he's returning to Orlando. I just don't know when he's coming in. Trying to find.
And then there's one other thing I want to talk about too, real quick.
Go on, you jump in. I was just going to say the date that the Tested thing was posted, which I believe was Thursday.
I think you're right. It was Wednesday or Thursday. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was the North Georgia. Let me find it. I want to make sure North Georgia Model Aviators. If you guys remember a while back, we actually had, some of the guys, Schizo and Stinger Swarm and Gap It. Jonathan Davis is Schizo, and he actually donated a plane to the North Georgia Model Aviators, and it's 106-inch Edge 540. It's got a DA 120cc motor on it. Runs a Falcon 27x11 prop, Spectrum receiver. It's got MKS 380 and 777 servos. They're actually auctioning this thing off, trying to raise money because they got kicked out of their old flying site where their club was, and it's $10 per entry. $50 give you 5 entries, that kind of thing. But go out there on our Facebook page. There is a link to it on how to do it. They will be drawing the winner live on Facebook on December 30th of this year. Nice. So just kind of giving everybody an update. So go out there and find it. And actually Schizo did all the work, the decal work on this plane. It is one beautiful extreme flight. 106-inch Edge 540, and it's a bind and fly to a Spectrum. So if you want to try to get into big, giant 106-inch airplanes, go for it.
Yeah.
Look who just showed up.
Oh, hey, Pat. And I was literally going to ask if there was anything else you wanted to share before we dip on out of here.
I don't think I do. I think I pretty much have said everything that I wanted to say as far as, any of the stuff I've been doing, but
just quick updates, right? I mean,
I'm trying to, yeah. And just wanted to kind of get everybody up, ready to go. And yeah, Patrick, there was a scheduling conflict, and so it was just Joel and I this evening. So you picked the perfect time to be off.
Yep. And so we are going to be recording with ReadyMade RC and the gang next Sunday, Pat. So if you are able to, your vacation, if you wish to take it, is still available for next Sunday. But if you are able to join us, we'd love to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I guess then in that case, we'll just tell everybody to leave us a voicemail who's currently on here.
Yes, so please leave us a voicemail.
All 12 people I expect who are on this this live
actually
episode.
11, because it says 13 11. And you and I are on there. So.
Oh, that's true. That's
well, and Pat, so yeah, you're back to
and Pat, yeah. 10. I'm back to 10. Okay. Well, between now and the end of this show, to have 10 new voicemails. You guys have had the number for a month. We've had no voicemails.
And I'll give it to you again.
Ready?
It's 802-465-FTCC or 802-465-3822.
minutes. Very easy number for you guys to remember. We intentionally picked a number that would be easy for everyone to remember. That's 802-465-FTCC. You'll hear a little voicemail by yours truly. It's like 5 seconds. As soon as it's over, you record your little voicemail, and
here,
boom skis.
Just to show you what this is. Hang on just a minute.
Hey guys, you've reached the Flight Test Community Podcast. Thank you so much for calling. Please make sure that you leave us your name and where you're calling from. Maybe we'll put you on the show. Blue skies. Until next time.
Hey, it's just me letting you know that the phone number does work. Bye.
And just to prove that the phone number does work and that we're not kidding around and that we're not spamming or anything, we have had voicemails here in the past. There it is right there on screen for those of you who are watching live. That's it. Right there.
Call us.
So I can go in and I can see we have a new voicemail. I wonder who it's from. It's from Mike Finley.
I can't imagine that.
And it even says, look at that, guys. Look at that, guys. It's right there. See, it does work. See, just now.
Yeah.
Just now. Just now. That was recorded. Please leave us a voicemail. Do I have to say it again? Please leave us a voicemail. 802-465-FTCC. 802. FTCC. All right. Well, this has been a really fun bonus little episode, Mike. I've really enjoyed bench flying with you for an hour. I think it's more than enough time that people have heard us rambling on about all of our shenanigans. Join us next week, guys. Sunday, 8 p.m. That is going to be for, literally, Pat, we are begging. That is going to be with ReadyMade RC. So that includes AJ Goin, aka Orkbots from the DRL. He will be joining us with the entire team over at ReadyMade to talk about everything that they have going on. ReadyMade RC, including Strix, and their new line of products, which include the amazing, the nimble, the small, the the nano goblin.
It is the nano goblin, isn't it?
It is the nano goblin. It is disgustingly cool. It is a very, very neat airplane. We're going to go into a lot of detail on that in the entire Strix line, what we can expect from ReadyMade in the coming year. And we're just going to go through all the fun details and chitty chat to them. So if you guys have any questions for them or any questions for AJ as it pertains to the DRL and his past history on the DRL, we're going into that a little bit, but primarily we're going to get into the stuff with ReadyMade guys and talk to them about everything they have coming up for the Christmas season.
Absolutely.
We're excited. We're really excited to have them on. It's amazing that a company like that wants to come on and talk with us. We don't normally get to do that, but they were a huge sponsor for Flight Fest this year. So we just wanted to have them on and thank them for their incredible support of Flight Tests over this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well. Those guys are awesome over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really phenomenal bunch. Really enjoyed speaking with them at Flight Fest. And then they were around at Flight Fest South again, which is fantastic. All right. Well, in that case, since we're wrapping it up, Mikey, do you want to go ahead and share all your social feeds?
It's Mike Finley on Facebook. It is the Magic One on the forums, on Google, on Instagram, on Twitter, even though I rarely ever, get out there and tweet. Do a lot on them. But once in a while, you never know. But anyway, that's me.
Yep.
And Joel?
I'm Joel Cannon. Yeah, you can find me at BabyBrit_FPV everywhere else. That's BABYBRIT_FPV. That's Instagram, Twitter, you name it. It's probably out there. So join us on that. We also have a podcast Instagram account that's at FTCC Podcast, #FTCC Podcast if you want your stuff featured on that Instagram account. And we also have a Facebook page, FTCC Podcast. You guys probably will find this live link through that. You can also find us at ftccpodcast.com, and through the contact us page, you can leave us an email. Of course, we always appreciate you guys giving a rating to us on iTunes. It really helps other people find the show. So if you guys could, we may not necessarily catch all of them because, of course, we just went through an 8-month period where we didn't catch any of them, and then we found 3 randomly. So unfortunately, if we don't catch your reviews, sorry, it's not our fault. It's iTunes. They are terrible about letting us know that a review is in. But we do appreciate the review. We really do. It really helps get the show out there.
And we also,
so with that,
we also want to make sure that Patrick Sean Murphy is known out there on Facebook land, and it's also Patrick Murphy on YouTube, and on the forums it's Earth Sci Teach. And for whatever reason, Luis wants to throw his out there. It's Luis Rusi on Facebook.
Rusi.
Or LRUSSI 750 on all the rest of the socials. So there you go, Luis.
Yep. Thanks, Luis. Thanks, buddy. Yes, actually, and Luis was our very first review on iTunes. That is true fact. Other fun fact is if you are reviewing from outside of the US, we can't capture that. So you won't likely hear it on the show. But again, it helps other people in your country, and we know you're out there because I see all the statistics come in. So thank you for your review. However, I'm sorry that we can't read it on the show.
All right, Charles wants us to give him a holler.
Charles wants us to give him. So Charles Blackwell,
Daytona
FPV. Daytona FPV. He is very active on both Facebook and also on the Rotor Riot page as of late.
You know what would be better? If each one of these people that want their socials out there, call us.
Leave us a voicemail.
Just call us. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play them on the show. How about that?
Actually, that's a great idea. So how about this, guys? From now on, because we're going to end it. 802-465 FTCC. Drop us your name. And guys, seriously, this is important. Name, where you're calling from, your username if you would like to give it, and any message that you'd like to give us. But if you could keep it PG, we'd appreciate it because, again, we're a PG show.
Yep. So we're not putting any more out there. No, we're not going to do it.
Sorry, we're done.
You have to call. 802-465-3822. Call us, leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the air.
That's very true. Please.
Take us out, Joel.
Guys, from all of us here at FTCC, thank you so much for listening. Blue skies, and we will see you on the next one. Take it easy.
See ya.